Hello and welcome to my channel. This is a new channel where I share everything about mindset and money for single moms. As promised in the other videos, I'm gonna do a video on Etsy. I think Etsy was the first thing that helped me to diversify my income a couple of years ago, so I really wanted to record this video and share my journey with you. I think lots of people got inspired by my journey because I started on Etsy by accident. And I'll share with you how I sold plants worth of £55,000. I want to share the backstory with you because I think it's quite funny. So I bought two plants from Amazon. I bought the cheese plant, or the Monstera Deliciosa, if you know. I'm gonna link it up here so you know which plant I bought. I bought two plants, and these two plants that Amazon sent me, they're fully overgrown. And had all sorts of little babies within the same pot with the mother plant, right? I looked at them, and being new to the plant world, I realized that I need to take out those little babies because they get suffocated by the mother plant. And my mom was living with me at that time to help me with the baby. So I've gone back to work the next day, and when I came back, what do you think happened? I look around the flat, and I was renting at that time a very tiny small flat in London. And when I look around the flat, from those two mother plants, my mom created 25 pots of Monstera Deliciosa, or cheese plant. Small, big, medium, all sorts of sizes. And when I've seen it, the first thing that came to mind was the name of the company that I created a couple of weeks later. So when I looked around into a super tiny flat with a small baby and 25 pots immediately appearing out of nowhere, I said, this is Monstera Terra. It's the world of the Monstera, right? And that's how the business idea came into my mind, and I realized that I need to sell them. There is no space to keep them, to grow them. And if you have one of those plants, you know that they grow crazy fast. If they have daylight and they have water and everything necessary, they grow really, really fast. So what I have done, I have sold initially on Amazon. I sold plants worth of about £10,000 before I discovered Etsy. So when I discovered Etsy, I think I just fell in love with the platform. It felt like such a natural fit. So I'm gonna go now into the dashboard, and I'm gonna share the stats, the numbers, the way I got started, and everything in between with you. But before doing that, I want to share with you the website. I also decided to create a branding placeholder as the website, so I'm gonna share that with you as well. So before jumping into the Etsy dashboard, I want to quickly show you the website. So this is the website called monsteraterra.com, and it looks like that. It's a website that I chose to host on square.com, where I pay a fee for the website hosting and having the website on their domain. So I opted to create this website myself because I didn't want to pay anyone to build it for me. I didn't want to pay any developer or any person who'd have any coding skills. That's why the drag and drop functionality was very important for me. So the other only thing that I paid on this website was this beautiful logo, Monstera Terra, which I find very simplistic and clean. And I try to keep the website exactly the same, very simplistic and clean, and highlight the plants. I must say that I've not done any sales through the website itself. It's just a branding placeholder. So all my sales have been done through Etsy, and prior to that through Amazon. Okay, so now let's jump into the dashboard on that side. Okay, so this is the plants shop that I've created on Etsy. If you're not familiar with Etsy, I would encourage you to check it out. It's a very big e-commerce marketplace. So I've created this shop about 2 years ago, and I didn't have any prior experience with Etsy, but I found it very intuitive and very easy to use, very easy to upload new listings and promote your products, promote my plant. So In about 2 years, I've sold on this platform more than 1,200 plants. So let's jump into the dashboard, and I'll show you how the dashboard and how the backend of Etsy looks. Right. So if you are running a shop, if you have a shop on Etsy, this is the user interface backstage, right? So you'd have your shop manager here and Etsy marketplace, and then you'd have all the functionality here, all the functions such as search, dashboard, listing, messages, orders, stats, and so on, right? So for this particular video, I'm going to show you primarily the dashboard, right? And what you can see on the dashboard. So you can see overall metrics on this dashboard. So performance, number, total visits, orders, and revenue. Then you can see open orders. You can see any guidance that Etsy might have for you. So when it comes to the stats, you have a detailed view stats. Equally could go for understanding what was the performance over time, right? So you have the option for today to look what if you've made any money, any sales today, and then look through yesterday, and look through the last 7 days, right? So yesterday, for example, I've sold the plant, probably a baby plant that was $3.90. I still sell this plant. Last 7 days, it was 83 plus, and then last 30 days, and then if I look at the total performance for this year is about 3K, and if I want to see last year, it was significantly more, it was 14K, and the prior year it was even bigger. If I look at the total, you'll see that it was revenue was in terms of sales was about 56K. You might be asking, okay, but that's a very sharp, steep decline in revenue, and that's absolutely correct. I've decided to downsize Etsy shop on plants and created in the meantime some other revenue streams that I find to be more passive. Just to say that over time, yes, it adds up, and in 2 years, 56 is not little, it's not much, it's not probably enough to live on this. It was an additional income stream for me. And I want to say that this was one of the initiatives that is actually very time consuming and very much needing my time and my effort and my involvement. It's not something you can easily delegate as such, but it's one of the initiatives that I enjoyed the most. And I, even if it was hard work, I enjoyed the most, and I've learned so much. I've learned about sales, I've learned about marketing, I've learned how to create that website, I've learned about packaging, how to promote my products via paid search across the different marketplaces, how to talk to customers, how to understand customers, and I think more importantly is how to develop that empathy with customers over email, which is not a natural channel of relating to customers. Okay, so if you want to have a look over the detailed stats, then you'll see that sharp decline in sales that I'm mentioning about from 2020 all the way to 2022. So in 2020, I was very much focused on this initiative, on selling plants. During the lockdown, I sold a lot of plants. People were stuck in the house, buying plants, having something to grow, something to nurture, and something to love. In 2021, I started downsizing it big time and focusing on some other initiatives. What's important to show here is that Etsy brought most of the visits. So the good thing about having a shop on Etsy is that Etsy helps you a lot to drive traffic, right? As opposite, if I would make all my sales through their website, I'll have to drive that traffic for paid search or for social media or for email list, personal network, and so on. There are pros and cons to both of them because Etsy is charging for every single order, for every single sale, is charging a percentage, is charging a fee. Okay, so let's have a quick look in terms of listing. What listings, what plants generated the most money for me? So if I look at top down, so this plant generated the most money, and then there is the soil that generated significant amount of money over time. But I must say this was very hard work for me, so I discontinued because I had to manually mix the soil, package the soil, store the soil, and carry it to the
post office or to any other courier that I was using at that time. So you have here a breakdown of all the items or the plants and their performance over time. So this is in a nutshell, these are the stats. Then you have here the finance section, you have the marketing section, which is very good and interesting to analyze. You have the option to go through the Etsy ads, and I must say that I used a lot the Etsy ads at the very beginning when I created the shop, and it did provide the return on investment, but it's rather expensive. And you have sales and discounts, and I use this a lot as well, because if you want to run a sales or create a promo code, then it's a good way to get started. And then you have integrations, community, where you can see any forums, you can see any advice, you can see any cases if someone opens a dispute against your shop or has any queries and any questions. You have settings where you can customize the appearance and the way your shop looks like, delivery policy, and all of that. In a nutshell, this is the Etsy shop, and my experience so far. It's been about 2 years. It's been hard work, but I must say a lot of learnings, and I've really enjoyed. And as you can see, I've got a lot of great reviews. People really love these little plants.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video about my journey on Etsy. If you're new to Etsy, or if you want to get started with Etsy, or if you're thinking about setting up a plants business, do get in touch. And I'm actually thinking of creating a webinar to help people get started with selling plants, because to be honest, when I started the company, I didn't know much about plants. And I think by that time I killed all the plants that I have prior to getting started again, and giving myself really giving myself a chance. I think when you have the love to give and you want to nurture something, I think if you put your mind to it, if anything, this is proof that you can learn and you can do it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is all I wanted to cover in this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.